morning. Happy Monday. In the first week of your quarantine here on the Morning Night Live. And, I was going to talk about the debate and I was going to talk about coronavirus and all the things that everyone else is fucking talking about. And I'm like, oh, I swore right in the first minute. Anyway, all the other stuff that I was going to talk about. And I'm like, you know what? There's a whole bunch of other stuff that I could talk about. So it's going to be a mishmash of things today. Just sit back and see. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Stop the music. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight, on this lovely March 16th, 2020. Now, tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and seeing that I live in the Twin Cities, the city of St. Paul normally has a huge St. Patrick's Day parade. I think they might have done it this last Saturday. The bars get crazy because there's a huge Irish contingent in the city of St. Paul. Lots of Irish Catholic people over there, and I think they're bummed. But I went to Sam's Club on Saturday, and I might have mentioned this yesterday. I don't know. I go into Sam's Club, and I'm like, you know what? I'm only going in there. Really, I went in there to just get. What did I go in there for? Oranges and anyway, I walk into Sam's Club. I go in. I get a corned beef because it's St. Patrick's Day, and I always do a corned beef on St. Patrick's Day. And I got a bag of clementines because I was like, oh, those look kind of good, and some vitamin C. I got a bag of mixed of caramel and cheddar popcorn mixed together, my favorite brand. And I got a cheap pair of jeans for work. And so I got these 4 items in Sam's Club on Saturday. And the place is packed with people just buying shit left and right. Their carts are full. They're going nuts. And, they got all the paper products are gone. And they're filling their carts up with meat and bottled water and all this stuff. And my cart has, again, corned beef, pair of jeans, some popcorn, and a bag of oranges. And I use the old Sam's Club little checkout thing where I can just instead of having to go through a checkout lane, you can just do it on your phone. You scan your items, you swipe, and it gets paid. Then you show the gal out the side of the door when you're going out the door your code, and you're out. So I'm going back up to the front, and all the checkout lines are like 8-10 carts deep, all just filled to the brim. And I just walk between these people, kind of look at them, walk right behind them, go right past the checkout people. And these people are looking at me like I'm nuts. But, that's all I needed. I didn't need to go stock up on a bunch of stuff. Anyway, I do have my reparations coffee in hand. Try not to cough too much. So let's say good morning to everybody real quick, and then we'll get into it. Good morning. First, let's see if this is even working yet. First in the door was Duck Dog. Who gets the bell? Yes, it worked. Good. And good morning, Zombie Teddy, Shia Grath, Advocatus Diaboli, James Colley. Welcome, sir. Good morning, Chicago Mike, Fred Fernstum, Jay Wolf, Maniac Man, Attack Alpaca, Sean. All you need. It's good to see you here. All you need. I know you can't get here all the time, but I don't know. Maybe you're on quarantine. If you're, here's something. Because I know this is going to be it's going to be a rough 30 days for people. I know that. And so I'm just curious if any of you have any major, downturns where you work, if you have to stay home. Are you a teacher where the schools are off? If you're stuck at home, if you're on that quarantine thing, not real quarantine, but the quarantine thing, let me know in the chat. I'm just curious. I don't need to know real specific details. For example, I work at UPS. Oh, I got our first super chat of the day from Sir Mr. James Colley. Thank you, sir. Oh, you know what? I never realized how small those... I didn't realize how small that is for y'all to read. Well, I'll just read it up here for you. Thank you, sir. Have taken your daily dose of toilet paper to keep corona away. I'm not sure if it's taken orally or not, though. Yeah, the toilet paper, I'm still the toilet paper thing, I still don't get. My wife and I, it's like... I just don't get it. They're not shutting off. Oh, hey, John Smith. Welcome. First time here. I'm glad to see you popping in, and welcome to the show. So have you taken your daily dose of toilet paper to keep corona away? No. I don't know. It's not like the cure for coronavirus is in a roll of toilet paper, and geez. James, if it's equal for women, shouldn't it be hemorrhoids since she's a pain in the ass? Okay, I missed the conversation. I must have messed up there. There was a guy. Okay, so this was not Saturday, but Sam's Club's on the way home, so I just go there and sometimes buy shit there. And one day last week when I was going by there was a guy that had like, I swear he had 8 of those giant, packs of 96, equal to 96 roll packs of toilet paper. And okay, so here's the thought. What is that? I got a hair in my mouth. Must be from my beard or something. Hello, Cal Ken L. And Gunfox61. Hello, good morning. Hey, so this, I'm like, could this be a Chinese plot? I'm just curious. Could it be a Chinese plot? What they're really doing, okay? They come up with this virus, right? Okay, now I'm being facetious. YouTube, do not ding me for this. Could it be a Chinese plot where they make it seem like there's this great pandemic all over the world? And what they really do is they've been secretly putting chemicals in the toilet paper, hoping people would that people would buy all kinds of toilet paper, and when they wipe their butt, they get this chemical in their ass, and their ass starts to disintegrate. It's a plot, I'm guaranteed. Okay, that's stupid. Good morning, Jaeger Pony. Good morning to the gayest person on YouTube. Those are not the same person. Just keeping it real here. Not quarantine. I slipped through the net, and I am now hiding out in an undisclosed location near my fridge until the insanity has passed. Well, that's good. All you need. I'm glad you're safe near your fridge. So my job at UPS, we're rolling along as normal because really no one works in close proximity to each other. There's one guy over there unloading truck, and then this guy's here scanning packages, and there's a guy over there sorting them into the things, and there's, so they're not really, and plus we're logistics. We got to keep the world moving. And so I did see a few rolls of toilet paper few packages of toilet paper go through UPS today, but it wasn't really crazy. But when you're in logistics, you just work, and hopefully we'll be all safe and whatnot. And then we'll see. I work for a restaurant part-time over the lunch hour, just doing some deliveries and stuff. And I got a feeling that business is going to be pretty strong today, especially with the schools out. And although normally the area we work in is mostly commercial, businesses where a lot of people order their lunch, but when I know on the weekends, I've never worked there on the weekends, but I know on the weekends they do a lot of residential business because there's a lot of kids live in the area. So there's gonna be a lot of kids at home. I'm sure they're gonna order food to be delivered and whatnot, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, okay, so let's get into the topic of the day. First, I do have one other thing to do, though, because it is Monday, and most of you know what that means. Yes, Monday. It is Metal Monday on the Morning Night Live. Our background music is going to scare some of you, but you know what? I think you'll get through it. It really doesn't look like me, but it sounds fairly intense, okay? It is Metal Monday on the Morning Night Live. And good morning to Smarty Bear and Green Badger Outdoors. How you doing? Glad you are here. All right. So, the other thing I had to do too, I always have to refresh my sound effects because they don't always work if I don't do that. So just bear with me a few seconds here. For whatever reason, these have become a popular feature on Morning Night Live, and so I'm going to make sure that they all work. And if I don't refresh them every day, they don't work. So I'm going to do that while I just kill time here. So there you go. Yeah, Duck Dog. I see you got the two fingers up. Yeah, baby. All right. I'll try not to choke a lung out here. The bell already worked though, didn't it? Okay, that's that. Oh, I forgot about that one. By the way, I am going to be adding some new things to the. I'm going to add some new features to the ambiance of the show. Adding new sound effects, adding new alerts that come up when you make donations. And if you are doing donations, by the way, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, if you like what we do, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, which is down below. Also, the share button. That's even more important. If you follow me over there at PDawg9 on Twitter, mine's Gabs right down there. Okay? If you follow me on those, you can retweet my tweet of the day at one of those places. I call them tweets no matter which one I use. Whatever I post, you can repost my post, or you can hit the share arrow down below and you can put it on whatever social media you want. Also, we do super chats through the Streamlabs link in the description down below, or right down here where it says pdawg9.live. That site has the information there, and it also tells you what alerts. There's certain special alerts for certain dollar amounts that are just random, but if you do those, that's what'll pop up. So, all right. You used to be more of a jazz guy. Well, we do jazz. We do. It just depends on the day of week. Friday we usually do funk. The 2 days that we have a normal, regular offering is Mondays, Metal Mondays, and Fridays are Funky Fridays. So we throw some funk on Fridays, we throw some metal on a Monday, and then I just have kind of a mishmash of things I'll throw in the background here and there. So, all right, let's see here. Thank you by the way, to Tyler F. and Necrosaw Collins, who have already tweeted out the show today. I really appreciate that. By the way, programming note. We just hit our 600 subscriber mark. Gonna have a celebration for that, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a couple weeks because on April 3rd, that will be my 300th episode of the Morning Night Live. It will also be a celebration of 600 subscribers hitting that mark, and it'll be my birthday show. Because that's my birthday. Well, actually, it's April 4th, but I don't normally stream on Saturdays, although I might do a special Saturday stream too. But, so, April 3rd. Is it 3 weeks from today? 3 weeks from today? No, 3 weeks from Friday. 2, 2, 3. 3 weeks from Friday, we're doing the 600. They're doing the birthday, 300, 600, whatever those fingers were doing there. The birthday special with the 300 episode and 600 subscribers. So we'll have some special guests. We'll have a good time. Kevin Stillwell, HB sent you. That is awesome. I hang out with HB every once in a while. He's been on my show a couple times. Also, good morning to Gillum Ice. Can we have Hispanic Hump Day? And where you can play Latin music. Hey, I have done Latin music. In fact, when did I do that? Was that Thursday last week? I think I did do like Latin music or calypso or some shit like that. So there you go. Yep, 56th birthday. Right, you're correct. Check your logic. All right, let's get into something that's. Let's just get into something here. Let's find something to talk about. Well, you know, the first thing we're going to talk about today is this debate last night. Okay. Which, if you saw my thumbnail, I did have Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders on the in the thumbnail. I like to refer to them as grumbles and mumbles because Bernie does nothing but grumble, and Joe has a tendency to mumble sometimes, or at least get his words caught up in there. So let's get into the. Hang on here, let me fix that. Get to the right one here. Oh no, I don't want the live updates. Hang on, I screwed up. I put the wrong article up here. That was dumb. Okay, so this is funny. I like this one because the Free Beacon gives no shits about anything. Good morning to Hey Larry, too. There's a whole bunch of new people here. Hey, all you new people, by the way, if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell to make sure you get notifications. All right. At risk elderly duo defy the CDC Wuhan guidelines, debate in public over which one will lose to Trump. The Free Beacon gives no fucks whatsoever, do they? What? Senator Lindsey Graham on Sunday announced that he had tested negative for Wuhan virus. Meanwhile, two elderly Democrats exhibited flu-like symptoms while auditioning to become the candidate who will eventually, inevitably, lose to President Donald Trump in November. Spoiler, it's Joe Biden. Not surprisingly, the deadly Wuhan virus was discussed early and often during the Democratic primary debate in Washington, D.C. However, very little of interest was said throughout. Perhaps the most surprising development was Senator Bernie Sanders' pledge to support Biden when the former vice president wins the Democratic nomination, which wasn't very surprising. The debate, which was the first to feature the only two candidates, former Vice President Biden, 77, and socialist insurgent Sanders, 78, both of whom are in the demographic most at risk of dying from the bat plague unleashed by China. Neither appeared to be in perfect health. You know what? Whoever did the makeup last night, I'd be a little bit pissed off. Well, not necessarily Sanders. Sanders looked okay. Biden, I mean, he looked pale and liver spots and all this. He just looked terrible. But here's the thing. Here's my takeaway from the debate. Because last night I watched the debate with Scribe Light and Sinatra Says and Drunken Uncle. We did a live stream last night, live streaming the debate, and just did some commentary and stuff over it. Here's my takeaway from the debate. Joe Biden didn't really need to do much to maintain his frontrunner status, okay? Biden, all he had to do was not make any super major gaffes, which he pretty much avoided, okay? He had a couple where Bernie kind of got a couple zings in on him or not, but I don't think it was enough that, you know, the four states that they're having primaries in, which are Arizona, Ohio, Illinois, and Florida, he has strong leads in all four of those states. So, for all practical purposes, practical, I can't even talk. I'm sounding like, never mind. For all practical purposes, Biden won the debate by not just falling off the stage. Actually, he won the debate because he remembered to wear pants, okay? That's the way I see it. Good morning, Wondering Lisa Bob H. Somebody else showed up just now, too. Maniac Man, you were here. Good morning, Becca Farley. How you doing? Okay. But anyway, here, I'm going to keep reading this. Biden coughed conspicuously while attempting to answer the first question. Yeah, that was great. The first question's on coronavirus, and the first thing Biden does is like start coughing. Kind of like me. But you know what? I've been coughing for weeks just because. Biden coughed conspicuously while attempting to answer the first question of the night and continued coughing intermittently throughout. Sanders also coughed, which happened to be one of the coronavirus symptoms listed on the Center for Disease Control website. Both candidates experienced difficulty while attempting to discuss coronavirus, Wuhan, pandemic. They keep adding Wuhan in parentheses. I don't know if they're trying to be not racist or what, because it's not racist. That's where it came from. Anyway, in relation to previous outbreaks, Biden touted his role in the Obama administration's response to the N1H1, which is actually the H1N1, as well as what happened in Africa, quote unquote, because he couldn't remember the name of it. He meant the H1N1 virus and Ebola, which Sanders repeatedly cited instead of the coronavirus. I got Ebola in my head right now, he said, after finally catching his mistake. Biden and Sanders put forward different visions of how they would respond to the current crisis. Biden would bring together the leading experts in the world. Oh my God, no one ever thought of that. Who have never been wrong about anything, and would promote a major bailout. I misread that. A major bailout package. Sanders would enact Medicare for all. How exactly wasn't clear, and never has been. Biden was ready with the rehearsed attack line. You have a single payer system in Italy, he said, citing the European country experiencing the worst outbreak of the Wuhan virus. It doesn't work there. The coronavirus has nothing to do with Medicare for all. That would not solve the problem. Yes! Did that bell ring? I can't hear my bell anymore. It did ring. Okay, good. Anyway, Sanders fired back, slamming Biden for taking campaign donations from the healthcare industry, which still would not solve the coronavirus anyway, to which Biden replied to his opponent during a political debate that he didn't want to get into a back and forth in terms of our politics. What the hell are you there for then? Good morning, W.R. Costum, by the way. Oh, God. The people you'd expect to find this answer presidential did exactly that. The weirdo dorks you'd expect to react to Biden-Sanders debate by tweeting, I miss Elizabeth Warren, also lived up to expectations. Biden, who throughout the primary has sought to portray himself as a moderate, continued his recent embrace of extreme left-wing politics. There would be no more drilling for oil under his administration, the former vice president said. Biden also insisted that no one would be deported during his first 100 days in office and promised to allow all illegal immigrants to remain in the United States. Sanders, on the until they commit a felony. Then he would deport them, but then they would probably just cross the border again. Sanders, on the other hand, continued his lifelong embrace of extreme left-wing policies. He managed to land a significant blow by attacking Biden's previous support for cutting Social Security as part of a bipartisan deficit reduction package. Biden claimed it wasn't true. It definitely was. And Sanders urged viewers to go to the YouTube, quote unquote, you need to go to the YouTube to learn the truth. Now, Biden did have a few good moments during the debate. For example, he adopted the official neocon position on the Wuhan virus. This is like being attacked from abroad, he said. This is like war. Indeed it is. He also benefited from sharing the stage with the only other candidate, especially a socialist one, because the mainstream media hates Bernie Sanders almost as much as they hate President Trump. The debate moderators went so far as to admit that Fidel Castro was a dictator who killed, tortured, and jailed millions, setting Biden up with a softball. By the way, the other thing that cracked me up last night about this debate, here, I don't even need this article for this one. The other thing that cracked me up about this debate last night, for some reason, and you're going to notice this more and more and more, Joe Biden has a habit right now, as he touts himself as the best candidate for the Democratic nomination for the president. And this habit is anything that happened during the Obama administration that even has a hint of being a good thing, Joe Biden is the one who did it. Joe Biden is the one who negotiated the Paris Climate Accord, which I don't say is a good thing, but you know what I mean? They think that's a good thing. Joe Biden is the one who, helped get these trade deals. Joe Biden did this. Joe Biden did this. Everything that Obama got done Joe Biden says that President Obama had him do it. And he's the one who got it done. And he's the one who knows all these world leaders. And he's the one who does this and does that. And I was thinking to myself, this could become a problem for Joe Biden. Now, let me tell you where I'm going here. Okay? Right now, Joe Biden has a widespread support among black Democrats, African American Democrats, ADOS Democrats, whatever you want to call us, black people in America. I just prefer black people because, you know, we're Americans. Or Americans in my book, but whatever, however you want to do this. Joe Biden, now, he has great support among black people, right? However, Joe Biden, especially during this debate, has basically been saying throughout this debate that everything good that happened during the Obama administration, Joe Biden did it. Joe Biden did it, right? Now, I just wonder, what if let's frame this a little bit differently. Let's frame it just a little bit differently, okay? And I'll give you a headline. In fact, I think I might even put a video together today about this. I haven't put a video together in a while, but I am putting one together called "Old White Man Takes Credit for Black Man's Work." And there's hundreds of examples. I've been noticing this over and over and over. Whenever Joe Biden wants to tout his experience, he says something that the Obama administration did, whatever, and then he says, I did that. Any of y'all ever see the movie Coach Carter? You ever see the movie Coach Carter? And Coach Carter is kind of mad at his players because his players were kind of taunting the other team as they played and whatever. And Coach Carter at the next practice, he comes in and says something about, oh, you see that shoe? You see that shoe? I tied that shoe. That's kind of Joe Biden right now. Every fucking thing that Obama did, Joe Biden is taking credit for. Does that... Now, do you think my headline would cause a little stir or something? I don't know. Yes, Sean, I do make videos occasionally. It's been a while since I've made one, but I do make videos. And this one, I think this is the one I gotta make. Anyway, all right, let's see here. Let's see. Biden and Sanders both played the crowd in theory, given the absence of an actual audience, by pledging to select a woman as their running mate. Now, this is another one I don't get. Why? I mean, not that they shouldn't. More power to them if they do or don't or whatever. But why would you pledge to select a woman? Making the pledge to do that. Because you're pandering. You're pandering old fools. And also Biden said that he pledged he was going to put a black woman on the Supreme Court. Okay. Because it's a woman and they're black, or because the next person you can think of just happens who has the qualifications and in line to be on the Supreme Court just happens to be a black woman, which would be fine. But if your only criteria for putting someone on the Supreme Court is that it's a black woman, what the hell does that do? Okay, I got an idea. Let's put Oprah on the Supreme Court. She's a black woman. She's pretty popular. Yeah. Wait, she doesn't have a law degree. She's never been a judge. She's never did a case before the Supreme Court. Oh, well, but she's a black woman. Come on, Joe, you senile old fuck. All right, because let's see. All right, so Biden and Sanders both hit the crowd. In theory, okay, by pledging to select a woman as their running mate, because the elderly candidates, according to science, I'll put this back up. Because the elderly candidates, according to science, are in the demographic most likely to die after contacting the Wuhan virus, this was a particularly important development. Well, are you ready? Do you think this will be the? Oh, here I didn't even realize this was on the screen. Ah, yeah, there she is. No, I don't think any of them are thinking of picking Hillary as the vice presidential nomination. I got a feeling Joe Biden. Okay, some people think Joe Biden's going to pick Kamala Harris. I'm not so confident that's it. I think he was actually thinking of Amy Klobuchar. In fact, Amy Klobuchar made a little slip about that once, saying something about joining the ticket, and then she kind of went back on her heels and said, I mean, joining the campaign to help Joe Biden. I don't know. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Let's see. Do I really want to talk anymore about this? I really don't. You know what? I kind of want to get away today from the presidential election. I kind of want to get away today from coronavirus as much as I can, although that's almost impossible. I do want to, there is one article here that I do need to do. There is a warning from the Bernie Bros right now, and I really think that the Bernie Bros are going to cause havoc. And in fact, here's the thing. Here's my prediction, and I made this prediction last night. Joe Biden's going to sweep these 4 states. And now, unlike presidential elections, in the primaries, when you win a state, it doesn't mean that you necessarily get all the delegates from that state. So that's why the delegate race is still fairly close, although if Biden does really good in these 4 states, I know Biden will kill Florida, because Florida, nobody wants Bernie Sanders. But in Arizona, Illinois, and Ohio, Bernie's still going to get some delegates, but I think Joe's going to blow them out. What's probably going to happen... Oh, good morning, Kessler, by the way, and Renovaccio. I didn't see you drop in. I'm glad you're here. And check your logic. I don't think I said hi to you either. And Keenan. Okay, I see. I think I'm caught up now. I don't think Bernie Sanders is going to stay in the race much longer after these primaries. And here's why. First of all, Bernie relies on rallies a lot, okay, for one. Joe's going to sweep these states and get a vast majority of the delegates from these states. So that's going to make it harder for Bernie to even be in the race. Bernie's already said that he made the mistake of, in one debate, saying if a candidate has a plurality of the delegates prior to the convention, but even not at the 50% mark, that person should be the nominee. He should not have ever said that. He said that when he had the plurality of delegates. He no longer has that. Joe Biden does it. Joe Biden still may not get 50% of the delegates before the convention. But the thing is, Bernie Sanders already knows that superdelegates are not going to put him over the top. So my prediction is that after these primaries on Tuesday, Bernie Sanders will drop out of the race. Now, with this whole coronavirus thing, there's not going to be a lot of big political rallies, activities going on for the next month, right? And so plenty of people are going to have time to just rumble and grumble, right? And think of all the Bernie supporters who are going to be just completely and utterly pissed off that Bernie drops out of the race. I predict that when Joe Biden decides and goes back out on the trail, there's going to be a lot of protests by the Bernie Bros at Biden rallies. And I still think there's going to be a major disruption at the Democratic National Convention. Now, it'd be interesting to see, depending on how this whole coronavirus thing goes, how much time are they even going to necessarily hold that convention? Will they move it back? What are they going to do? Because I can't even remember when that's supposed to be. Is that supposed to be like May? We'll see what happens, but it's going to be very interesting. I just think that the Bernie followers. Okay, now that leads me up to this article because this is what I'm getting to. Bernie bros warn of mass exodus if Joe Biden gets the presidential nomination. Bernie Sanders, independent Vermont hardcore supporters, say that despite assurances from the Democratic National Committee that left-leaning voters will fall in line behind the likely Democratic presidential nominee, they're ready to resist casting a ballot for former Vice President Joe Biden, even if that means handing President Donald Trump a second term, according to the New York Post. Biden pulled well ahead of Sanders in the delegate count last week after inking convincing victories in the South Carolina primary, several major Super Tuesday states, and in the all-important battleground state of Michigan, where he beat the Vermont Socialists by a respectable 14 points. But although Biden is now considered the frontrunner for the Democratic nominations, many of Sanders supporters believe the former vice president his remarkable comeback from near complete obscurity was orchestrated by the Democratic powers that be, and that powerful moderates are pressing Sanders out of competition for the nod. Oh, you think? Good morning. I see MC is in the house.
Hammer time.
And good morning to Lamented Guide. Glad you're here. The Bernie supporters are planning to fight back. We, quote, we will never, that's in capital letters, never, they really mean it, never boost or support Joe Biden or defend his abysmal record and terrible policy positions. Now, here's something interesting. Last night in the debate, this is the first that we've heard this one too, Joe Biden decided that he was going to embrace Elizabeth Warren's free college plan, so-called free college plan. And I just thought to myself, I don't know if that's a smart idea. I really don't. Do you think... Let me think. Remember the auto workers he went and talked to the other day and he told the one guy he's full of shit and all that? Do you think the auto workers who, didn't go to college or whatever and just maybe went to a 2-year trade school or learned to be a machinist in the auto industry, and all these people who work just blue collar jobs that they didn't go to college for, maybe they went to a 2-year school, went to trade school, whatever. Do you think those people are thinking, you know what we need to do? We need to raise our taxes so we can send some snot-nosed kid to college who probably only go 2 years and then drop out. Do you think? Do you think the guy that, that's decided to go be an apprentice carpenter or something like that and is working building houses, thinks his taxes should go up so that the guy buying the $300,000, $400,000 or $500,000 house they're building, so they can send that kid's kid to those people's kids to college? What is this whole the other part too, there are some places where the school dropout, the high school dropout rate is over 50%. So who are we sending to college for free? Okay, the people who really have need in this country already pretty much go to college for free. There's financial aid, there's grants, and especially when it comes to economic grants for people who are low income but are able to go to college. There's already all kinds of ways for them to go to college for free. So the people who are, the student loan debt crisis, are people who either finish college and have a job, and yes, they're going to have to pay off loans over a certain amount of time, just like a lot of us who went to college did. That's nothing new. and the people who dropped out. That's where the student loan crisis is. A lot of people who are in the student debt crisis are people who dropped out of school. And they're talking about canceling all the student loan debt. I just don't... maybe it's just me being, hello, boomer. Whatever. Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer. Boomer.
Fuck you. I don't... Okay. Market and free fall, 8.5% down today. Yeah, it's going to have Democratic convention is July 13th through 16th, so they might still have it. They might be good by then. I don't know. Market in the free fall. Yeah, it's gonna be tough because they're closing shit down everywhere. Buy paper stocks. I'm just telling you. Look, this is a downturn that has nothing to do with fundamentals. I mean, although it was already in a bit of a what's a good word? It was already in a bit of a bubble, but is what it is. Hello, Big Chief Fuzzy Beard. How you doing? But anyway, what did I do there? Here, I was supposed to be on main. Anyway, so let's see. I was back in this article. I get on tangents every once in a while. You know me. So let's see. So these are the Bernie people. We will never support Biden or defend his abysmal record on terrible policy positions. One progressive activist told the New York Post, "We will tell people, as we always have, to vote their conscience and make decisions based on the interest of all the world's oppressed people." Yes, you are oppressed in the United States. I guarantee that you're oppressed here, but oh my God. Says, "I do expect a massive exodus from the Democratic Party." Well, Bernie was never a part of the Democratic Party, even though he caucuses with them. So, if that's y'all, that's not... Bernie was never a Democrat in the first place. He's still not, technically. I don't know if I could vote for Biden, one high-profile local Democratic socialist added. Biden is just an old white guy who inspires nobody. I sincerely think he would lose the election and popular vote, and I know I won't be voting for him in New York. The Bernie Bros, as Sanders' diehard supporters are called, are notoriously aggressive, attacking Sanders' detractors on social media, and more recently, taking their opposition to the Democratic establishment in real life, allegedly threatening Democratic Party officials, and even in one case causing a near riot at a Democratic Party event in Nevada. Several had to be forcibly removed from the Nevada Democratic Party's annual convention at a Las Vegas casino after throwing objects and reportedly threatening speakers who had disqualified several Sanders delegates. In 2016, after Sanders lost the party's presidential nomination to Hillary Clinton, a loss the Bernie Bros blamed on the DNC and superdelegates who declared their affiliation to Clinton before primaries began. A whopping 12% of them voted for Trump in 2016, according to an analysis by the Cooperative Congressional Election Study. That added up to roughly 216,000 voters in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Exit polls showed Trump's combined margin of victory in those states was 77,000 and some change. This doesn't change their calculus, though, the Bernie Bros say. Sanders himself is staying in the race, even though it's unlikely he'll make up the difference in delegates between now and July. The Sanders campaign announced Wednesday that the Vermont Socialist plans on attending Sunday night's presidential debate, which was last night, now moved to Washington, D.C., blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, the oppression continues on the Bernie Bros, but you know what? The Democrat... It's almost clear that the Democratic National Committee had something to do with some of these other candidates dropping out where they did. I particularly... Well, has Warren officially dropped out? Did she? Yeah, she did, I guess. No, has she officially dropped out? No, I can't remember. She must have. She wasn't in the debate. But that's right. She dropped out, but she's not endorsing anybody. But the other middle of the roaders, stock market drop is freaking me out. I got to borrow from my phone and pay for my house, and seeing the amount I can get dropped is just rather panic-inducing. You know what? Hello, this is Kyle. How you doing? The stock market drop. If you can avoid borrowing from the 401k. It's probably a good idea to avoid that. Look, I'm at a point where I'm not going to be retiring for quite a while anyway, and so we're not touching any of that. Even if we get late on some bills or whatever, which hopefully we won't. I think we have enough reserve for a few months. But if we get behind on some bills, so be it at this point. And I used to do credit for a living. There's going to be. I have a feeling that a lot of these financial institutions, they're going to make some adjustments for the facts on the ground, because the entire country is going through this at once. I don't know. We'll see. With the Fed adding liquidity to some of the banks, I think you might see a lot of entities being flexible with certain financial transactions. Let's just put it that way. That's a prediction just from my own experience in banking just before the 2008 crash. Although I left the business before then, but I did see a lot of things that people did. I don't know. A lot of people lost their homes too, so it's hard to say. Sorry, I don't want to spook you, but this one's a little different. The last one was certainly due to government intervention in the banking industry, for one, which I saw that shit coming from a mile away. It's a market correction that will vanish like a fart in the wind once this panic stops. I think I do think that when this panic's over and we figure out that the numbers of people sick levels off, whatever that is. We don't even know yet in this country, but you've seen it where it leveled off in China. And look, there's 1 billion people in China, and they've got it leveling off at about 80,000 people right now. Now, Italy's a little bit different matter, but in Italy, I think a lot of that has to do with the proximity of the elderly to the young, because families live in larger units, multi-generational units. So I can see why in a country where that's common, you're going to see that kind of the event affect way more people, and especially more old people. A lot of is for better or worse, a lot of old people in the United States live on their own, or in strictly areas where there's a lot of just other old people. They don't live in extended families where you're in contact with young people at all the times, unless maybe you go to the store or something and become in contact with young people. So I don't know if it's going to be the same here. For every known case, there are at least 5 we don't know about. Yep, I absolutely. So I don't know. That is my feeling on it. I think we've done some of the right thing in slowing down certain events, big events. That's probably a good idea. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did. Quick good morning. I said hi, this is Kyle already. Also, good morning, Ebony Williams, Mike Savage. I'm so glad that you are here today. All right, let's move on. What else I got here? Well, I just wanted to do through kind of a hodgepodge of articles, which are more, I don't know. There's just a whole bunch of little things that I liked here. Some quotes of the day. These are some quotes of the day from Sunday. I'm going to the Ace of Spades blog for the quotes of the day. The first one is from Pat Condell, and these are all going to be just kind of random different stories and things that are just kind of quick hits we're going to do today. This one, the words from Pat Condell was a tweet the other day. The words racist and xenophobic have been stripped of all meaning. The Wuhan virus, Chinese virus, is a consequence of the Chinese Communist Party's negligence and lies. They have infected the world, and the WHO and fake news media are helping them lie about it. And that's in response to the New York Times on a couple days ago said some conservatives, including Mike Pompeo, Senator Tom Cotton, and Representative Paul Gosar, are using the term Wuhan virus to describe COVID-19. Critics accuse the term. Critics accuse the term, which goes against the recommendation of health officials, of being racist and xenophobic. Oh, if I could only show you how many times the New York Times called it the Wuhan virus or the Wuhan coronavirus until they put out this stupid article. And it's just one of those things. Of course, they try to twist and turn so that, Republicans are racist. All right, quote number 2, due to coronavirus, the police department is asking all criminal activities to stop until further notice. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation in the matter. We will update you when we deem it's appropriate to proceed with your bad selves. That was from the Struthers, Ohio Police Department. A hilarious announcement. Quote number 3, the executive order allows the city to be flexible to properly respond to emergency needs of our community. None of the options will necessarily be implemented, but are available in order to protect the welfare and safety of your community if needed. This is Jeff Hamilton, the city of Champaign's communications manager, and here's what that's about. Executive order in Champaign could include banning the sale of firearms. Oh, you dirty bastards. Ammunition and alcohol. Okay, you guys can just eat 2 bags of dicks. Thank you. Champaign Mayor Deborah Frank Finan has issued an executive order declaring an emergency in the city. City officials say that the emergency is related to COVID-19, which is anticipated to cause impact on the health of community members. Champaign Municipal Code allows the mayor to declare an emergency for a limited time. And here's what she included in that executive order. Violating parts of the Open Meetings Act, ban sale of firearms and ammunition. Bitch, please. Ban the sale of alcohol? What the hell are you supposed to do when you're quarantined at home? By the way, I saw a funny tweet the other day. I saw it this morning or yesterday. Anyway, it was a tweet. The guy goes, I've been quarantined for a week. I've finished the entire catalog of Pornhub. Oh my God. Dude. Anyway, closing all bars and taverns and liquor stores, ban sale or giving away of gasoline and other liquid flammables or combustible products in any container other than a gasoline tank permanently fixed to a motor vehicle. So they're not letting people hoard gasoline. Direct shut off of power, water, and gas. Bitch, you're not gonna shut off my power, water, and gas. I'm coming to the. I'm coming. I'm gonna paint a sign and stand right in front of your house. Take possession of private property and obtain full title to the same. So she wants to use this to seize property or prohibit or restrict ingress or egress to and from the city, whatever that means. You know what? It's not Thursday, but FTG to this hoe. Anyway, quote number 4, the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. It's a natural manure. That is from Thomas Jefferson. Quote number 5, do you know how many people were hospitalized in 2009 and 2010 with the swine flu? 300,000 people were hospitalized. So 60 million people were infected, 300,000 were hospitalized, and nobody even remembers it. Why? Well, because we had a different president. We had a Democrat president by the name of Barack Obama. And the news then was how wonderfully well Obama was handling it. How expertly well Obama was dealing with it. That is from the recent, what's his name? What's it called? The Congressional Medal of Freedom winner, Rush Limbaugh. Anyway, quote number 4. In one way, we think a great deal too much about the atomic bomb. How are we to live in an atomic age? I'm tempted to reply. Why, as you would have lived in the 16th century when the plague visited London almost every year, or as you would have lived in a Viking age when raiders from Scandinavia might land and cut your throat at any night, or indeed as you are already living in an age of cancer, an age of syphilis, an age of paralysis, an age of air raids, an age of railway accidents, an age of motor accidents. In other words, do not let us begin by exaggerating the novelty of our situation. Believe me, dear sir or madam, you and all whom you love were already sentenced to death before the atomic bomb was invented, and a quite high percentage of us were going to die in unpleasant ways. We had indeed one very great advantage over our ancestors, anesthetics. But we have that still. It is perfectly ridiculous to go about whimpering and drawing long faces because the scientists have added one more chance of painful and premature death to the world, which already bristled with such chances, and in which death itself was not a chance at all, but a certainty. And that was from the great writer C.S. Lewis. All right, now let's just some quick hits here. Never ever let a crisis go to waste, especially if you can't fuck over law-abiding citizens. You've probably read about how greatly various aspects of criminal justice reform have improved life in American society. New York State's bail reform law, which eliminates cash bail in order to level the playing field, has already cost at least one life while returning an arsonist and a rapist to the streets. But that's only scratching the surface of what liberals have in mind. Virginia, whose legislature is now controlled by Democrats, is weighing legislation that would free middle-aged murderers. Now, in the wake of the coronavirus epidemic, the left is calling for governments to release prisoners en masse, reduce arrests, and limit immigration enforcement. Squad member Ayanna Pressley, whose new bald look and constantly fluttering extra long lashes have been a subject of conversation on social media, was a guest on Al Sharpton's show on MSNBC. There she laid out the particulars for the case of commuting sentences to protect the prison population from infections. The video, we gotta watch this. We gotta watch it. Hello, Dr. No. Greetings. Oh, Cynical Lindsay. Hello to you too. Mr. Pinochet, did I say good morning to you yet? If not, good morning. All right, let's check this one out. This has gotta be, and Texas Red. Hello. What the hell's going on here? Come on, screen. There we go. Let's see what Ayanna Pressley had to say here. Yeah, she stopped wearing wigs. She has a condition that causes her to be bald. Oh, did they even put it in here? What the hell is that? Okay, never mind. I can't find her. Is this where's the video? Oh, that's a little risque. What the hell is that? Here we go. How long is this? Let's see here. Hello. All right, I'm just taking me a little bit here. I don't know why.
Financial Services and Oversight Committees. Congresswoman, as we look at this, there's deep concern about the underserved communities on how they are going to be tested, how, if we can get the Senate to pass what you and your colleagues did last night, how will that play out in areas that don't have a lot of health services in their immediate area? How do we deal with this?
Well, they're having these drive-through locations at Walmart, and they're doing it for free. But anyway, let's see what she says.
I've been focusing on, Rev, in my role on oversight is certainly all those vulnerable communities already living on the margins, as you alluded to earlier. This pandemic, COVID-19, has certainly highlighted and exacerbated every socio-ratio political fault line in our country. And I'm just advocating to make sure that when we are talking about those that are most vulnerable, our low-income residents and citizens, those experiencing homelessness, our seniors, that we are also including the incarcerated men and women who are certainly...
No, wait a minute. We also need to include our incarcerated men and women. Okay, I'm going to listen.
amongst one of the most vulnerable populations, and given the crowding and overpopulating in our prisons, for a confluence of other reasons that we won't get into in this interview, Rev, but you are certainly well aware of, are an ecosystem in a petri dish for the spreading of this pandemic, which is why I partnered with my colleagues, Representative Velasquez, Ocasio-Cortez, and Tlaib, to lobby the Bureau of Prisons to use their full power and to communicate guidance for how we will contain and mitigate this epidemic behind the wall. Specifically, do they have access to testing? Secondly, has anyone already tested positive? And what are the quarantine measures? Again, given the overpopulation.
I don't know. The quarantine measures could just be, hey, you're going to have to stay yourself for a while and we'll feed you here. I don't know. What are you suggesting?
And the fact that many of these facilities are already subpar and that incarcerated men and women do not have.
Oh, Dr. No. That's a great question. Because Tulsi still has not dropped out of the race. Now, she's only got 2 delegates, and they changed the rules so she couldn't be in the debates. When will Tulsi be back on the debate stage? Could you imagine if she had been on that debate stage yesterday? Now, I have no way want Tulsi Gabbard to be president of the United States, but she would have wiped the floor with both of them. I'm just saying. I don't think she would have held back on Joe's cognitive stuff. Although Joe, Joe did pretty good last night. He made some flubs, but anyway. All right, what do they want? They want the release of prisoners like Iran? Okay, let me see.
Access to soap, to alcohol-based hand sanitizers, to regular showers. What is the guidance, both for those that are incarcerated and for... I'm not even sure where she's going here. We do have an obligation to try to keep prisoners safe, and maybe get the hand washing done and whatnot. I'm not sure where she's going here, but for staff, and that the BOP use their full powers. I think now would be the time to commute some sentences, to exact clemency. And to take care of our most vulnerable. 10% of those that are incarcerated are over the age of 60 and already have an underlying condition. We should be using compassionate release.
Okay, I'm not gonna finish that. I can't. I'm sorry. We do have an obligation to keep prisoners safe and whatnot. I don't understand the idea of we're gonna release them because this is fine. I don't get it. She may have a point there, but I do not get it. Okay, reason number 634 why government should not be involved in retail. Update, all state-run liquor stores in Bucks, Chester, Delaware, and Montgomery counties will close effective Tuesday, March 16th until further notice. The Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board said Saturday all 88 stores in Bucks, Chester, Delaware, and Montgomery counties will be open regular hours tomorrow, Sunday, March 15th. On Monday, March 16th, only select locations will be open. That list can be found at the bottom of the story. The LCB noted that Pennsylvania residents can shop for wine and spirits at www.finewineandgoodspirits.com, having purchases shipped directly to their homes. Damn, I didn't know you could. I thought that was illegal to do that. I wonder if they deliver to Minnesota. Anyway, Pennsylvania, in the grip of a national health crisis, is taking drastic steps to limit person-to-person interactions. To get another place where they're taking your booze away. What is wrong with you people? God, anyway. Man, thank you, Humble Clay, for subscribing. I am glad you are here. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you. All right, and hi to Straight Sith Mail. I didn't see you were there either. In the words of Jim Carrey, stop, liar, liar, stop breaking the law, asshole. Damn straight. All right, let's see. Once again, the left shows their contempt for Americans who don't agree with them. This was kind of disgusting. This is just disgusting. Joy Reid and her guest Jennifer Rubin from the Washington Post, supposedly Republican conservative Jennifer Rubin, who has gone off the deep end, explain why more Republicans will die from the coronavirus. According to Jennifer Rubin, who writes for the Washington Post, we are all just a bunch of stupid lemmings. Quote, there is a particular cruelty, irony that is their core viewers, the Republican older viewers who are more at risk, she said. And when you think about it, which party immediately canceled all their rallies? Which party immediately started having their political figures really portray and use their lives as an example? It was the Democrats. So typically there will be less Democrat death because there will be less mass gatherings. There will be less opportunities for people to congregate and share this horrible disease. So it's really a very short-sighted strategy. But I think now the name of the game is how do they get back on planet Earth. And part of the way that I think that they are doing it is down the memory hole. He jumped right on this right away because all of this planning that we're doing so well, which is head spinning for the rest of us who watched him for weeks say this is a hoax. He never, you lying, yes! The president never once called the coronavirus a hoax. Stop lying!
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Holy fuck! Stop lying! No! He didn't call it a hoax. Nobody's calling it a hoax. Everyone knows it's real. Okay? He said this was another attempt to use a terrible thing that's happening as something to criticize the president on. And you've gone all in. The media's gone all in. And it's like the other hoaxes. It's the coronavirus, the virus that's going around itself was not the hoax. The hoax part of it, it's like another hoax, is the way you assholes are politicizing it. The politicization of the coronavirus is the hoax, so to speak. Okay? And I see it on Twitter all the time. Well, he called it a hoax. He's called it a hoax. Well, it's not a hoax now. And the yeah. Fuck off, you dumb fuckers. Anyway, to all you asshats hoarding the toilet paper, what are you going to do now when I have all the plungers? Oh my gosh. By the way, Humble Clay, thanks for joining us on the show today. Yes, that's Olympic kills babies by the millions. Okay. What the fuck? Social distancing for... Okay, so here's one. Social distancing means that many of us will be spending quality time at home this weekend rather than out at bars, restaurants, and concerts with friends. Just because you're staying a safe distance from other people doesn't mean that you can't hang out with them virtually. In Japan, which instituted social distancing before we did in the US, women are using Zoom to have virtual happy hours. Drinking with friends online has become such a thing that there's even a word for it. Onomi, or online drinking, Vice reports. Well, that's a good idea. Let's have a virtual happy hour. That's awesome. All right. And here's a great speed bump. This is one of the best speed bumps ever. I don't think you can see that there. Doink. That's actually pretty funny. If you had a heart and soul, you wouldn't do this to a dog, yet your fellow man. Italians over 80. Oh, yeah, this is a terrible story. So Italians over 80 will be left to die as country is overwhelmed by coronavirus. Hardest hit regions draft new proposals saying who will live and who will die. Coronavirus victims in Italy will be denied access to intensive care if they are aged 80 or more or in poor health should pressure on beds increase. A document prepared by the Crisis Management Unit in Turin proposed. Death panels, anybody? We've got to have Medicare for all. Death panels, anybody? Yeah, see, that's single payer care in Italy. Anyway, some patients denied intensive care will in effect be left to die, doctors fear. The unit has drawn up a protocol seen by the Telegraph that will determine which patients receive treatment in intensive care and which do not if there is insufficient spaces. Intensive care capacity is running short in Italy and the coronavirus continues to spread. The document produced by the Civil Protections Department of the Piedmont region One of those hardest hits says, the criteria for access to intensive therapy in cases of emergency must include age of less than 80 or a score on the Charlton Comorbidity Index, which indicates how many other medical conditions the patient has, of less than 5. So, and the left with the quote, nothing ever good happens when man decides he's God. This one's satire, but it's kind of funny because it's too close to the truth. This is a joke. I'm telling you now, this is a joke. It's funny. Burlington, Vermont. In a video message recorded from one of his many, many houses, Bernie Sanders has called on the workers of the world to unite and seize the means of toilet paper production. Sanders was under quarantine because he is old and susceptible to the virus, so he delivered the message remotely, but it was just as powerful as if he had delivered it to thousands of Bernie bros in person. Workers of the world, unite and seize the means of producing bath tissue in large quantities. Being a well-known communist, Sanders criticized the free market for having so much prosperity and toilet paper that people could run out and purchase hundreds of rolls they don't even need on a whim. 1% of the people now own 90% of the toilet paper. Under the socialist system, each person would get an equal amount, which would probably be 2 or 3 squares, but at least we would all be equal. Okay, that's a joke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to read it. I only got a couple more of these, and we're gonna get to Twitter trends. Hey, the next time you, so this is great. We've all heard the story about Andrew Gillum, the former governor candidate for the state of Florida, who lost by a hair and a knuckle, who ended up face down in a hotel room with a male escort, a male prostitute who was overdosing on meth. Well, here's some good news. Update. Police not pursuing criminal charges against Andrew Gillum after he was found in a Miami hotel room with bags of crystal meth. Yes, see, that is called, well, I was going to say white male privilege, but no, Andrew Gillum's black, and he was with the male, holy shit, he was with the gay prostitute. What the fuck? Gee, I wonder if the male prostitute, the male escort, I wonder if he's gonna be charged. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. By the way, so he said he was drunk. Okay, he said he was drunk after, and that he was at a wedding earlier in the day. And every time I hear someone say that, because some people are trying to defend Andrew Gillum, and I think to myself, how many? Okay, let me ask the chat. This is a survey question that you can just answer right there in the chat, people. How many of you have ever been to a Thursday afternoon wedding? The question's not finished. Hang on, don't answer yet. How many of you have ever been to a Thursday afternoon wedding where you ended face down in the toilet, almost passed out and puking, and there's a male escort and there are bags of meth in the room? The male escort was overdosed. How many of you done that? If you've been there, press 1. If you haven't been there, press any other number in the entire thing that are in the entire whatever spectrum that's more than 1 or Xfinity. If you've been there, go ahead. By the way, while you're here, and if you're thinking about it, if you like how we're going, if you like how the show runs, and if you like me, well, you don't have to like me, but if you like how the show goes, please hit that thumbs up button. Yeah, thumbs up, except for Duck Dog, who always does the thumbs down. Hey, Johnny Blaze, I didn't see you pop in the room. Good afternoon. Haha. By the way, also, the Morning Night Live is still sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. You'd be so kind to hit the share arrow, or you can donate to the show by hitting the link down below, and Streamlabs link in the chat down below, or you can just go to PDawg9.live, and that's where we do donations. And you can be a permanent part of the show, because I will read your super chat, and it will be on the replays for posterity forever. Rock on. Let's go. Lots of great numbers. I don't see any ones, so apparently nobody's been to us. Well, okay, let me rephrase the question. How many of you have been to a Thursday afternoon wedding? If you've been to a Thursday afternoon wedding, One, if you've never been to a Thursday afternoon wedding, any other number in the spectrum. James Colley, what did you say? You did say male escort, right? Then 0. Okay. So everything but the male escort. The meth, you were face down in the toilet, Thursday afternoon wedding, you did all that shit. But no, it was not a male escort. Okay. Perfect. Oh, the other thing, he said he'd been drinking, that he was drunk, right? By the way, they found no alcohol in the room either. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Oh, some of you have been to a Thursday afternoon. Now, let's see. My original wedding, it was on a. Oh no, I got married on a Monday, but that's because we eloped the day before we went on a vacation, and so we were flying out Tuesday. Hello, Kevin Stillwell. There's another new name. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the show. I didn't see you come in. I think I already said hi to Hey Larry and Duck Dog and everyone. James Kyle. Yeah, I said. Oh, Johnny Hellcat. What's happening? All right. Yeah, but I didn't say Tuesday afternoon. I said Thursday afternoon wedding, face down in the toilet with a male escort OD'd on meth and bags of meth around the room. I was very specific. All right. Last one. The amazing things you learn. For example, I never knew students in West Virginia got cabin fever. That was not that exciting. Let's see. Oh, this is the last one before I get into Twitter trends. This one, oh my God. Here we go. Contrary to the left's tested contention, yes, there are some civilizations. There are some civilizations better than others. So, you've heard the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, what do you do? What do you have to consume to protect yourself from coronavirus? Well, according to one Hindu group in India, the answer is simple. A tall glass of cow urine. You heard me right. Cow urine. Akhil Bharat Hindu Mahasabha, I think I said that right, the All India Hindu Union will be hosting a cow urine drinking party to test their belief that the golden substance will protect their bodies against the pandemic known as COVID-19. Because their religion says that cows are sacred, their urine is alleged to have medicinal properties. We have been drinking cow urine for 21 years. We also take baths in cow dung. We have never felt the need to consume English medicine, said Om Prakash, one of the Tea Party attendees.
Wow.
Okay. All right, let's get into Twitter trends, and then we're going to get the hell out of Dodge, because that's what we do here in the Morning Night Live. Oh, what is this? Oh. This showed up. Thank you, Clay, Humble Clay, for the... This is the Justin Trudeau and Fidel Castro's young man. Holy moly. There's a lot of people who say... Because his mom spent some time in Cuba and knew Castro. That's right. Can you imagine what was going through Gillum's head when he had to resuscitate his prostitute? You were definitely getting a tip this time of saving your life. No, he didn't. That's just it. He didn't resuscitate the prostitute. There was a third party in the room, okay? The third party was in the room, and then the person who, the third party, Gillum was thrown up in the toilet. The other guy that tried to resuscitate the guy who was, who overdosed, and he called the police. The police came. When the police got there, Gillum was still throwing up in the toilet, and the other guy was passed out on the bed, and there was bags of meth on the floor. So yeah, it wasn't even Gillum who resuscitated him. What they did is they sent Gillum home from the scene because they recognized him, knowing that he was a former mayor and a former gubernatorial candidate. They sent him home. They let him off. And so this guy has to go, first of all, then he has to go home to his wife and his 2 kids. And this story's coming out in the papers. Oh my God. And he's fairly wealthy dude. one of two things is going to happen. Well, no, one thing's going to happen. We just don't know how it's going to happen. Mama's going to get paid, okay? Whether she divorces him or whether she holds this shit over his head for years, Mama going to get paid. I'm just telling you. All right, let's get in here. All right, moving on. Let's, real quick, we got to get into Twitter trends. I want to see what my other notification here is real quick. Don't worry, Michael. Okay, all right, that's just something that someone replying to something else. All right, let's get into Twitter trends. I clicked the Explore tab on Twitter, and of course, the top story is coronavirus. U.S. cities close bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Yeah, the mayor of Los Angeles has closed all the bars and theaters in Los Angeles. They had you'll have to look for it yourself because I don't know where it is unless it shows up in the Twitter trends. But in New Orleans, the police basically drove up and down Bourbon Street and told everyone to go home. You are a threat to public health right now. Sent people home. It's getting serious when they started closing Bourbon Street. A total number of global cases surpassed 166,000, including more than 6,000 fatalities. Over 77,000 patients are reported to have recovered. Get the latest updates from around the world. Italy records its deadliest days since the outbreak began. UK confirms 1,372 positive cases. Spain under lockdown after 1,500 new cases. New York City, LA, and other parts of the U.S. closed bars. Restaurants and cinemas. Australia enforces 14-day isolation for overseas arrivals. Information from WHO, health inspections, journalists, and more. Okay, let's see. All right, and the Fed rate to aid economy is cut. New York schools to close, finally. De Blasio wasn't going to do that, but they finally did it. New York City limits restaurants to takeout and delivery in fight against coronavirus. Takes effect Tuesday. Mayor says the virus can be spread rapidly through close interactions New Yorkers have in restaurants and bars. We have to break that cycle. So they're starting to get serious all over the country. But it's funny. Oh, the president didn't react fast enough. Well, some of these cities and states didn't either. I don't know how you could. I don't believe that no matter who's the president of the United States, the bureaucracy that's in place in the United States is designed to not panic, and sometimes it's not designed to do things quickly. So hopefully whatever they've done when they say that they've made some changes to be able to deal with this, that will help with certain similar events in the future that the president was talking about the other day. I hope they're right, but it's just one of those things. You know what? You can't stop a hurricane hitting Puerto Rico, okay? You can't stop the corrupt people in Puerto Rico who were hoarding the supplies that came down there. This virus is going to spread no matter what. Italy has single-payer health care. They're having the hardest time with this right now. China has, in theory, free health care. I don't know how it exactly works there compared to Italy, but that's where the shit started. It's a virus. It don't care if you have single-payer health care. It don't care if you have to pay for your health care. Don't care if you have health insurance. Don't care if you're rich. Don't care if you're poor. Don't care if you're in the government. Don't care if you dig ditches for a living. It doesn't care if you're homeless. It's a virus. It's going to travel and spread. And so now they are just having to figure out how to deal with it and maybe come up with a solution. Hopefully there'll be a vaccine within the next 90 to 120 days. We got to ride it out, and the world will come back together eventually. And unfortunately, we are losing some people, and it's sad, but Jesus, let's just not be lunatics, okay? All right. Moving on. No new trends in the United States. Location. What? What are you talking about? Here, hang on. Let me refresh this just to get my trends back. And there we go. Starting today, number one on Twitter right now in the United States, quarantine life. Yeah, we're all living the quarantine life, although I still have to work today. Although my third job, I don't have to work today because it's at a school, and the schools are closed for the next few weeks. So, hey, there you go. Studying, come in, we'll work. What? Work all week? I don't know what that means. Literally nothing new. Quarantine life. Oh, here we go. I'll put it on the full screen. When you normally spend all your time at home anyway, but now the government says you have to. Well, now I'm not doing it. That's funny. That is funny. To be fair, PDawg, I think they're aware they're not going to be able to stop the virus. They're trying to slow it down so healthcare providers are not overwhelmed and hospitals are over capacity. I agree with that 100%. They want, they talked about how they want the curve to, well, the term flatten the curve is the big one right now, where they want to make sure that if they can slow the spread of it and not overwhelm it, that's again, you're exactly right, Lindsay. If they can slow the transmission rate so that there aren't a big spike in the number of severe cases, that is what is probably the most important thing to do right now, so that the hospitals and any other facilities taking care of these people are not completely and utterly overwhelmed. So thank you. I appreciate that comment. Let's see. Reason why social distancing is so important. Quarantine life. This is a okay, here's the example there, why it's so important. If you take one out of the line, and that's why social distancing is so important. Okay, that's good. That's a kind of a good illustration of that. Very good. CEO of Netflix right now. Quarantine life. That's pretty funny. Here we go. A picture's worth 1,000 tweets. This is a good one too. Yeah, all these people who can't eat toilet paper. Did anyone bring any food? They got plenty of toilet paper though. There's a lot of those people. Holy shit. The other day we saw a guy take an entire, well, I told you, the guy had almost an entire pallet, and they're like, do you work at a facility or something? No, this is for us. Fuck, what do you need that much toilet paper for? Let's see.
The government with an urgent message about the coronavirus. We know many of you are confused. Some say it's no big deal. Italians are freaking out. The Chinese are hiding out. And Aussies seem to think the virus attacks your butthole. Medical experts have coined a scientific term to describe the situation we're now facing, a shit show. It's important to note that the shit show isn't caused by the virus itself, which we can manage, but rather by dangerous levels of egregious dumb fuckery spreading about the virus. Through forensic analysis, experts have traced the path of the dumb fuckery back to this malignant shit funnel, who said he's not worried about corona since it's no worse than the flu. One of the symptoms of dumb fuckery includes not understanding simple math, leading many to laugh off.
Oh, there's a problem right there. You said maths and not math. Yes. We Americans know better that it's math, but I know that most of the other rest of the world calls it math, as in mathematics, but we say math. I don't, whatever.
Only having a death rate of about 2%. Since experts say the US alone could have 96 million cases, 2% of that comes to approximately a lot of fucking dead people. Of course, the death
Now, what's funny about this, so if that's the case, how come in China with 1 billion people, they're not having that? Probably because they're going through the same thing a few weeks ago that we're going to go through now, and I don't think we're going to have 2 million people dead. I hope not. I hope that we figure this out, and that and the time of the year mitigates it. I don't know, but I'm not going to panic. But this is humorous, but I always laugh that they have to take shots at certain people.
rate is much higher among older people. This has been largely dismissed due to another symptom of dumbfuckery, not caring about the elderly, or as experts call it, being an asshole. If left unchecked, this shit show can drastically worsen the impact of coronavirus by overwhelming a country's healthcare services. For example, the US only has 1 million hospital beds. Oh, and face masks will probably run out too. So as doctors and nurses get infected...
One of the reasons the face masks are running out is because most of them are produced in China, and China's keeping them for themselves. That's why we should probably have manufacturing of certain items back here. Thank you very much.
Would also be a shortage of them. When you combine all that with a government that has no regard for science, a vastly uninsured...
Oh, fucking moron. Please. You don't think they've talked to any scientists? You know what? I think the heads of the people at the top of this little chain here that the president has working on it, they're the top experts in the world. They were the top experts under the Obama administration. They were the top experts under the Bush administration, and they're still there, and they're the ones being consulted. So some of this is bullshit, but actually, I find humor in it, but now it's starting to piss me off.
Workforce without sick leave and millions of guns, you get what experts call a munted shit show. To avoid a munted shit show in your country, experts are now advising governments worldwide to be the exact opposite of America. If you're not already infected by dumb fuckery, we ask you to spread this graph among your friends and family. Instead of bullshit memes, it shows how by flattening the contagion curve, we can slow down the spread of the virus so our hospitals and carers can cope. You can help flatten the curve by practicing hand hygiene.
Gee, I haven't heard any of this
before.
before.
Your doctor if you develop symptoms. Delaying the spread even by a month could prevent thousands of deaths. And not just corona deaths. It also means fewer deaths due to any emergencies requiring hospital care, which could mean you or your loved ones. And remember, if you do run out of toilet paper, Rupert Murdoch produces a wide range of bog roll replacements worldwide. This has been a message from your local government franchise. Goodbye.
Okay, it's humorous, but it pisses
Authorized by
me
the
off.
Department for responding to global emergencies when they threaten the stock market.
Yes, because this all started in the U.S. Fuck off. All right, it's humorous, but it's also clearly slanted. Okay, it was fine. All right, moving on. Quarantine, number 1. Number 2 on the shit show today on Twitter, the Young Blood Show. What the hell? That just popped up. It wasn't there earlier today. Obviously, having to do these. The Young Blood Show, not only did this man play a concert under quarantine and play just as good as he would if the crowd was in front of him, but he also started his own cooking show and drank Corona beer. If that's not the biggest FU to the coronavirus, I don't know what it is. So apparently, this guy did his concert without an audience and broadcast it. And, okay, good for him. Good for him. He's under quarantine. Dom talking to us be like the Young Blood Show, talking to the wall, talking to nobody. Anyway, I don't know who this guy is. I don't care. Moving on. Number 3, Monday morning. It is Monday morning. Yes, indeedy. It is Monday morning. Must read thread. Okay, let's read this thread. U.S. corona death rate by date, 4.6. Go ahead. Okay, this is what people were telling us the death rate was. March 8, 22 deaths of 541 cases. Then it was 26 of 704. Then 30 of 994. 38 of 1. Okay, so the death rate keeps going down as they figure out who has it. Well, that's not a shocker. I think they're gonna find that as well, here's his thread. So from 4.6% March 8th, now it's 1.8% by March 15th. February 23rd, Italy had 153 known cases. March 5th, the U.S. had only 159 cases. This puts the U.S. 12 days behind Italy. At day 15, Sunday, March 8th, Italy closed down a quarter of its country because hospitals had snapped a few days earlier. The U.S. is now early in day 11. Most coronavirus deaths in Italy are above the age of 70. Italy snapped when they were only at 1,000 severe cases. In New York, only 6% of seniors live with grandchildren under the age of 18. So focus on seniors sitting tight and up hospital capacity. That doesn't make sense. Instead, we focus on schools and gyms. Yeah, because kids. Anyway, we should rather overreact than underreact. Rather be safe than sorry. Sure, overreact, but focus on the right place. Current action only ups angst and anxiety, freaks people out about corona, so they are stressing hospitals, doctors. And you are not upping hospital capacity enough. Yesterday, Sunday, the Speaker of the New York City Council sent 15 tweets in 10 hours about shutting down libraries, bars, and schools. Not a word in this time frame about seniors avoiding the streets and upping New York City hospital capacity by thousands of beds. That's panic-based, erratic behavior. Yeah, they got to focus on keeping... Oh, my God. This guy's so right. Overreacting prudently would be to prepare way more hospital capacity than you will end up needing, because you can't really know in advance what you need. Cool with that, but too many clowns in government media are pushing panic-based panic-inducing stuff. I would say shit, but he's being polite. I'm not even getting into the fact that choosing the worst of countries as a baseline, what to expect, is panic-based. Wait a minute. I am not even getting into the fact that choosing the worst countries as a baseline, what to expect, is panic-based, and then not looking at the details of that country. Most deaths are seniors. They snapped with as little as 1,000 severe cases. So react accordingly is panic again. Another point of panic and not sanity. The EU has more than 24 countries of open borders and more people than the US. If your numbers focus here is if your numbers focus here is all of the US, do the same in the EU. If your focus there is country by country, oh my God, Italy, then go here state by state too. Yeah, make up your mind. How are you going to do this? In close, please wash your hands and practice social distancing. Have your home prepared with 2 weeks of needed good food. Ask your local, state, federal officials to focus on prudent steps to up hospital capacity to protect seniors and slow the spread overall. Dear Dr. Foss, P.S. Dr. Foss said yesterday morning, not everyone should be tested, only those with reasons to believe they have coronavirus. This assures that suspected cases get detected early and it reduces the chance of wasted backlog. Why was this not in the news all day? Because schools. Another point about testing. People who have symptoms or have been in close contact with a confirmed case need to test, but they are going out to be tested and spreading the virus. Has anyone told the masses repeatedly to wait at home for mobile testing? No. Have local state governments set up fleets that can go to houses in full gear to test? No again. You know why? Because we are busy shutting down schools, gyms, restaurants, and travel rather than doing prudent stuff that this thread outlined, and I've been yelling for weeks, but talking to walls. Also, you'll see South Korea did not shut down everything, and Italy's health system snapped when it had only 1,000 severe cases. Focus less on making shutdowns, focus more on increasing capacity at area hospitals, urgent cares. A thread about South Korea and Italy. I'm not going to do that one. Okay, so there. I'm going to just put that. If you want to read that on your own and read the supporting thread that he put in there, there it is on Twitter. All right, I got to get going here. Let's go. That was I don't even know what, Monday morning. Yeah, see, everything's about coronavirus. Here, Monday morning. Laura Valka's latest tech tyranny column. Donald Trump signs 5G national security law. Senate hopes to boost Hawaii sanctions. Ban on TikTok on the horizon. No! You can't ban TikTok. What the hell? I'm just kidding. I think it's a Chinese spy program. Okay, now here goes the same. If the drought drops 1,000 points in 2 days, the president should be impeached immediately. Everyone likes that one because the Dow's down pretty bad. Good morning. Joe Biden is the lying dog-faced pony soldier. Only Bernie beats Trump, and they use this clip to say so.
Balanced budget amendment will be a disaster for working people, for elderly people, for low-income people. It will mean, in my view, the destruction of the Social Security system as we know it. It will mean savage cuts in Medicare, in Medicaid, in the opportunity of young people to get grants and loans to go to college.
I'm going to go on record. I'm up for re-election this year, and I'm going to remind everybody what I did at home, which is going to cost me politically. When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government. And I not only tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time.
A balanced budget amendment.
Okay, well, you know what? They got to do something. That's from 1995. They're arguing the budget and how whatever. All right, moving on. Moving on. Kirk Cousins, the quarterback of the local team where I live, is trending number 5. And now, what happened there? God damn it. Let's go. Come on, Twitter. There we go. Kirk Cousins is trending number 5, and I don't know why, and I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's see. The Vikings reached a 2-year extension with quarterback Kirk Cousins per his agent. Some Vikings fans will like that. Some will be complaining. But the funniest thing is the next thing I see right here. Prayers up for Stefon Diggs, y'all. No, he doesn't have the coronavirus or anything. He just has to deal with Kirk Cousins as his quarterback. Oh, it's amazing that this guy, Kirk Cousins, is going to be 34 when his new extension ends, and he can hit the market again. Absolute legend at the bank, because it looks like another $61 million guaranteed. What the hell? How? I don't get it. Anyway, if you're not a football fan, you probably don't care about that. Monday thoughts will skip. Martial law is trending. Uh-oh. In some cities, like in that city in Champaign, Illinois, where they're not going to let you buy guns, stop spreading stupid rumors about martial law. It's completely false. We will continue to see closings, restrictions, and hours of non-essential business in certain cities and states, but that is not martial law. Thank you, Marco Rubio. That is the truth. Told you. Oh, this guy says, I told you. Oh, little Marco is the dumbest elected official in America. Well, what? It's recommended. They're not out here putting troops in the street, although last night at the debate, both Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden said that they would be willing to use the United States military to fight the coronavirus. I know they meant just personnel and whatever to help certain places and whatnot, but it just sounds funny. Well, we're going to get the U.S. military to fight the coronavirus. All right, I don't even know what to say about this. Real apocalypse and people typing this instead of martial law. Okay. Martial law was Marco Rubio's best friend in college, and he would like you to stop bullying him by spreading rumors. Okay. How is martial law not an Eminem album? That's a good question. I can't believe there we go. Every time I see some dumbass call it martial law, this is all I am picturing. Okay. All right, moving on. Amari Cooper's trending. It must be, you know what? It must be contract week for NFL players, because Amari Cooper here is, the Cowboys have put the franchise tag on Dak Prescott and continue to work on a long-term deal with Amari Cooper. Okay. If you're a Cowboys fan, you care about that. Moving on. Coronavirus 2. What? Coronavirus 2, Electric Boogaloo. I woke up to Coronavirus 2 trending. What the fuck happened to the original? That's a good question. Coronavirus 2, what the fuck? Who greenlit a sequel? Why did I just wake up to Coronavirus 2 trending? I still don't know. Coronavirus 2, we're barely able to handle one. How are we supposed to handle another one? Why is it trending? Because it's the title of John Oliver's most recent episode of Last Week Tonight as his second episode on coronavirus. You're welcome. Okay, that's why it's trending. Because I'm like, wait, what are you talking about, Coronavirus 2? All right, moving on. Star, S-T-A-A-R, trending with Governor Abbott. What the hell does this mean? Breaking. Governor Abbott has waived STAR testing requirements for the 2019-2020 school year. Oh, okay. The state of Texas assessment of academic readiness test that they do in state high schools. They're suspending doing it because coronavirus. Okay. Students across Texas will not have to be expected to take the state of Texas assessment of academic studies, readiness, whatever. Oh, see, now what? Okay, they just said okay, that's, if you're in Texas, you know what that is. I don't know if that's good or bad. Hopkins is trending. DeAndre Hopkins, another football player signed or something. A list of reasons why the Texans should trade DeAndre Hopkins. That's cute. Nothing in the book. Texans really thinking about trading away DeAndre Hopkins. I just don't know anymore. Okay, we're getting a lot of football stuff because trade deadlines and trade dates and contract dates are coming up. I'm skipping that. Devontae Freeman. Falcons released veterans Devontae Freeman and Desmond Trufant. Kirksey, training with Bulaga. Christian Kirksey. Okay, this is another one. This is another football player. The Packers are signing linebacker Christian Kirksey to a 2-year, $16 million deal. Oh, these football players are getting expensive. Holy shit. Xbox Series X is trending number 14. Some new gaming shit out here. Let's go. You'll see tweets of people. Okay, here's the dimensions of the Xbox Series X. Well, that's interesting. It looks more rectangular than it used to, with a square at the top. Full specs for list for Xbox Series X has been revealed. If you're interested, look that up. I'm just telling you. Inside, a closer look at. Okay, so this is the new Gen Tech inside Xbox Series X. All right, there's a new Xbox coming out. just what we need. Hey, if you're quarantined though, you might want to go pick one up. Get yourself familiar with the new Xbox. Moving on. New Jersey and Connecticut is trending. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo outlines closures including casinos and gyms as part of coronavirus response. Says states of New Jersey and Connecticut will abide by the same rules. Here are the policies. No more than 50 plus gatherings. Casinos, effective 8 p.m. tonight, closed. Gyms, effective 8 p.m. tonight, closed. Theaters, effective 8 p.m. tonight, closed. Any bar or restaurant closes at 8 p.m. However, the SLA will change their rules to allow takeout for any goods served on premises. So the delivery dudes, man, if you are a delivery person right now in New York City, you're about to get busy. Holy shit. All right. Moving. Oh, and this is great. What regional leadership looks like. Coronavirus. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut agreed to restrict restaurants, limit events with fewer than 50 people. Okay, Frank Figliuzzi, or whatever your name is here, former FBI Assistant Director, NBC News National Security Contributor. Oh, okay, you were with WNBC. Okay, good for you. CNN reporting it too. Moving on. Brad Dupree, another football player doing something. I'm going to skip that. And finally, Arnold trends at the end. Let's check it out. What did Arnold say? Arnold says, urges fans to self-isolate while feeding carrots to his ponies. Arnold Schwarzenegger urges fans to self-isolate while feeding carrots. Okay, let's see here. I don't know who needs to see this, but it's Arnold Schwarzenegger in his kitchen wearing a Terminator t-shirt, giving coronavirus advice while feeding a pony called Whiskey and a donkey called Lulu. So here's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this is why he's trending.
See, the important thing is that you stay at home because there's a curfew now. Okay, no one is allowed out, especially someone that is like 72 years old.
Okay, hold up. So Arnold Schwarzenegger's at home, just like any normal person, right? And he's just like any normal person at home feeding his miniature pony and donkey carrots while in a t-shirt and a suit coat that has padded shoulders. I do like Arnold though.
You're 65, you're not allowed at the house anymore in California, so we stay home and we eat here.
Oh, that's not a padded jacket, right? It's a coat.
Oh, yes, that's yummy. I ate with the Whiskey, and there's Lulu. Lulu loves carrots. Whiskey loves carrots. I just had my little bit of vegan food. Oh, that was yummy, huh? Oh, see, that's what we do. We don't go out, we don't go to restaurants, we don't do anything like that anymore here. We just eat with Whiskey and with Lulu. We have a good
that's
time.
because you were privileged enough to have carrots, Arnold.
Huh? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They're yummies, huh? We have a good time eating here together.
Okay, so people are talking about this. We're going to move on. At some point, Arnold became a kooky, dorky vegan, and sorry, but we have no choice but to stand. Okay. Here are Schwarzenegger with a PSA about responsible self-isolating, staring his donkeys, Whiskey and Lewis. It's amazing how real legends who are truly in great physical shape don't need any false bravado that endangers other people. Okay, yeah, we'll give Arnold some props here. All right, that's it, gang. I can't do it anymore. Mainly because I got to get out of here. But thank you everybody for being here today at the Morning Night Live. By the way, I did something the other day that I thought that I would never do. I retweeted Anna Navarro on something that I agreed with her with. Oh my God. I thought I was having hot flashes, and I don't think that happens to men, but yeah, she was that broken clock theory thing gone right. She was right, and I actually retweeted her. So please, don't judge me. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here. The Morning Night Live streams Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and it's 2 p.m. GMT. I've been saying 4 p.m. GMT because that daylight saving times thing got me all screwed up. No, this time of the year, it's 2 p.m. GMT. So 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT for people in other parts of the world. I have my friends from Ireland and Australia and all over the, different parts of the world. So thanks for being here. But anyway, and before you go, if you haven't already done so, please hit that thumbs up right below the screen here. That's lets people know that you like what we do. PDawg has exclusive permission to hit the thumbs down. I have one every day. Also, thank you so much for the people who have subscribed lately. If you're not subscribed, do that right now. Hit the bell too. And thank you, James Colley, my super chat of the day. I really appreciate all of you who've been able to do donations as we've done this show over the last year. Remember, April 3rd, we're going to have our 300th show, the 600 subscriber special, and it'll be my birthday. Plan ahead. April 3rd. Let's go. Anyway, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you more than you could ever know. My name is PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.